Oh, damn it, I played the completely wrong intro. Let's try that again.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate, not Ballbusters. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you're new to this channel, or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to keep up to date with the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate forum to keep up to date with the community debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly though, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. You have to excuse the background noise. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Travis and Ranty Flat Earth. How are you both doing?
Hello, what ho?
Doing good, thanks, Nathan. Yourself?
Oh, a little bit annoyed. I pressed the right button for the right advert, but the advert from yesterday came out, so for some reason, even though I've queued it with like a trigger button for the specific video, it still played the wrong one. So I've got two intros on this show, which is a bit annoying, but such is life.
Can't be helped.
Hey ho. So, any signs of curvature, gentlemen?
None.
Not a single millimetre of curvature.
Kidding. The two resident Flat Earth Debate photographers, nothing. No signs of curvature at all.
Nope.
Oh my god. Okay, moving on. Any signs of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety as you're here today, Ranty?
You mean am I spinning? No. Hell no.
Does the Earth spin on an axis? Axial rotation of the Earth-based variety.
No.
The Earth does not want to be our spinning ball.
Indeed. Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
There is no distance to the sun, just as there is no distance to the horizon.
About scientific evidence of gravity.
Scientific evidence? What?
Gravity, Travis. Scientific evidence thereof.
Did you not watch Ballbusters last night, Nathan?
I
You should have watched Ballbusters. This
I was on it. Yeah, I did, yeah.
Well, if you watched it, you'll know the answer to that. No, there is no scientific proof at all for anything.
You got the most pertinent point of the whole show, I feel, Ranty, with that. So I'm sorry, my kid's deciding to be incredibly noisy today.
Come on, more housekeeping. We need our...
Yeah, I've just got a load of background noise.
He's distracted. He can't do two things at once.
Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the
center
of a presupposed spherical Earth? Whoa!
No evidence of that, I'm afraid, gentlemen. None whatsoever. What about any evidence of a gas pressure without a container?
No.
No.
What about the presuppositional R value? Any signs of that?
Rumpus? Are we talking about Arthur Rumpus? No, haven't seen him. Don't know who he is.
Earth radius.
Oh, Earth radius? Nah. None of that.
No, none of that. Super duper. Well, that concludes the housekeeping. Relatively short and sweet. My kid wanted to get involved, which is always nice.
She knows the answers now. Wait till she gets to school.
Well, I was muting her, and then I realised that she was saying, ah.
The teacher will sit her down. This is your first science lesson. I can just imagine what she's going to say.
I've had that from a few of the commenters. They've said, her first science teacher's going to love her.
Yeah. You got any scientific proof, miss? Got any scientific proof?
Yeah, what's your independent variable for that? Did you check out the show yesterday, Travis?
Sorry?
Ball Busters. Shout out to Colin Turner for the super chat. Ball bust the super chat, indeedy.
No, I didn't. I was busy doing some stuff. I talked to. I was on Tim Osman's channel, and then I followed up afterwards with some of my own stuff. So I was a little bit distracted.
How'd you get on with Tim?
I thought I did pretty well. We didn't. It wasn't a debate. He was showing his typical Salt Lake footage, and I had some footage to show him as well. So I introduced what I'm calling the ether band, which is basically the concept of Aries diffraction and whatnot. But so I went through that discussion with him, and then I did a show later on with Zach Zabala. And so we looked through the footage that I had. It was a pretty good show.
Excellent. Yeah, I noticed that you'd done it. I just hadn't had a chance to watch that either, so I'm as guilty as you in that regard for not supporting each other's material. Although it's Tim Osman, so no love lost.
Let me guess. Tim was still punting that couple of images that he got something about a year ago. Yeah. The one he shows every single time.
Yeah.
Every day. The one observation, the only thing that he has. I would like to see what's at the other side of that lake. I would imagine it's probably an 8-foot or a 10-foot slight hill there that's probably just causing that obstruction. And then what you've got is a small inferior mirage just happening just between the water and the sky above that's blocking it out. That's what I would think it would be.
10-foot walls, like a 10-foot wall, Ranty.
10-foot walls, 10-foot, indeed.
No, it's not. Depends how far it is. It is if you're a glowhead and you want to hijack perspective.
I want to go over there, actually, and no, I don't. What's the point in going all the way over there to go and film that? It's no. But I will.
Go there. I thought you meant go over to Tim Osman's channel, which I was like, yeah, fair enough, you know.
No, I wasn't.
Tim Osman's good fun sometimes.
No, I was considering going over and doing some observations over there, but there's really no need. I've got everything that I need here in the UK that I can do stuff with. And I actually will be doing a couple of observations in the next month and a half. So it's all looking really good. One in North Wales and one in Scotland. So I'm finally going to get to do the Loch Ness one that I wanted to do, which will be awesome.
Yeah, you've been looking to do that for quite a while now.
I have, yeah. And the thing is, I've been speaking to a flat earther who, well, I actually met a flat earther on Saturday. So he drove essentially a round trip of about 300 miles to come and give me some equipment that I could use over the next month or so, which was really kind and generous of him. So he's given me the use of an infrared camera and telescope, a few other bits and pieces. So that's really cool and just shows the lengths that some people will go to just help someone out or to try and find the truth. He says that he has, he works a lot, so he doesn't get a lot of time to do these stuff himself. So, but he thinks that if I had this equipment, then I could make use of it. You know, that was really cool.
The drone and the telescope, right?
No. This is so the drone, the telescope, and the infrared camera came from this gentleman, along with another infrared laser, a military grade laser as well, and an altimeter, a few bits and pieces. And yet the drones are coming from another flat earther in Wales. But obviously, I'm not taking possession of them at all. That's literally going to be that they're his, but he's going to be there operating them. And he's also hired a boat for the day. So the skipper, who will be sailing in and around North Wales, he can go to certain locations. We can communicate. I can get GPS from him. I'll have eyes on him from the beach. And we're going to conduct all kind of experiments and stuff. But the drones will come in handy for when we go and do the Loch Ness experiment, because I'm really looking forward to doing that. 22 miles of Loch Ness, and obviously it's a very narrow loch, so it's got mountains on each side as well. So I'm anticipating that it's going to be decent enough to film across. But the idea being that with these drones that he's also got a plane that he can fly. So we're going to attach all kind of lights and things to these things, and we're going to go up, go down with them with altimeters on them, because they've obviously got their altimeters. And I'll be able to film it from one side with the P1000 and infrared cameras and all this kind of stuff. And we should get some really good measurements.
Nice. Been looking forward to you doing these
tests.
Well, it's not so much the test element, the fact that it's the new year element. So I see this now as coming into the new year. It's all the nice weather and flowers blooming and all the rest of it. That's the real new year, and that's typically, well, last year where all the cracking observations came from, right? This time of year.
Yeah, well, yeah, for the next 6 months or so, from around about April onwards. The problem being that I think this is a phenomenon that's happening all around the UK. Actually, is that there's so much mist over the ocean at the moment. I mean, for the past, it's coming up 6 weeks now that we haven't been able to see even the buildings of Barrow. So from the seawall, 50 feet above sea level. I mean, you've seen all those images from that height. You know, they should be there all the time, but the mist is blocking everything out. You can't see anything. It's really frustrating, and it's been like this for such a long time now. It's very rare. I mean, we don't even get fog or mist in this part of the UK, but I have seen it now probably maybe 20 times in the past month and a half. You know, real fog, real mist. You know, it's very unusual. But to have it sort of like settling over the water as well and stopping you from seeing anything is you know, very, very unusual.
You're looking forward to doing some of these observations with your P1000 though, because obviously, yeah, we've seen it, but
yeah. Well, when we did the Rantiathon last year, and I actually got the P1000, it was a little late in the year. So we're talking, by the time I got the camera, it was in mid-September or so. So all the really, really pristine opportunities to go out and film when the conditions were nice to see, a lot of that had already gone. So if I'd had the P1000 back in April, where I had all the photography done from the P900, I mean, some of this stuff I could have captured would have been sensational with the 4K on it. But I still have that now. So obviously I can, when the weather finally clears and we can start seeing stuff, we can do some more tests and observations around here. But yeah, I think the last year anyway was just incredible. Honestly, I think a lot of the stuff that was learned through this debate format was really crucial in pushing flat Earth forward and giving it a right good kick, especially in the observation side of stuff. And when Life is Short did his short documentaries as well, I mean, that was just fantastic.
AP.
Amazing.
Indeed.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to some cool footage from infrared cameras and P1000s this year. It's going to be good.
Keep fingers crossed. Let's hope so.
One of the things I'm hoping you'll do, Ranty, when you do, I know I've said this to you off air, so this won't come as a shock, but you know when you do your panorama, like you spin around to show where you are, typically you'll just kind of do it as a matter of, you know, this is where I am. Whereas when you're at places like the Mirror Ball, it would be quite cool if you left it on your tripod and left it wide, you know, zoomed out instead of zoomed in to the horizon. You zoom out and just pan around, you know, spin it round and show us how cool it is around by you, because there is some quite dramatic architecture like literally behind you. So we're looking at like a building at Barrow, a dock. It's not exactly that exciting, no offence, but right behind you you've got Blackpool, and it is cool. So it would be nice if some of the footage started and ended when you showing where you are, if you can just, you know, give us a glimpse of some of the cool stuff, but in a nice way, rather than it sort of being wonky as you just pick up your tripod and go, hey, here I am.
Hey, listen, if you want nice, cute stuff, go to Sandra Coolpics. She's really good.
Is that a no?
I get down and dirty. You know,
You're only interested in the raw data. No, I get it.
you know, if you want pretty, there's elsewhere you can go for the pretty stuff.
Well, you
I'm
can
only
do
joking.
both.
But yeah, it would be nice to actually probably incorporate that somehow.
Exactly. I know you've been sending me pictures, like, what did you call them? Glamour shots from your P1000 of various wildlife and scenes that you like see that are pretty and things. So you're obviously keen to do more dramatic photography. Well, you can achieve that just by panning your camera around and keeping it on its tripod, in my opinion.
Okay, I'll consider it.
Cool.
Who else has joined?
There's just P.
You joined? Oh, P Mars.
Not just P. The great P
Hey.
Mars.
Yeah, King P Mars.
What kind of P Mars have we got today then?
Hopefully a good one. I was listening back to a show from about 12 months ago, P, and some of the stuff you say is quite profound on occasion, and it reminded me of why I like you. You know, considering you've been a dick for the last 3 months.
Untrue. Wild accusations. I'm a gentleman and a scholar at all times.
Did it feel good when you sniped fight the flat Earth?
I never did that.
Oh right, okay. That's if you say so, P.
I mean, you got evidence.
Oh no. But it was the same. It was the same porn that was playing though.
You got evidence that I ever porn bombed anyone?
I might have a video on my channel about that.
Yeah, does it prove that I'm a porn bomber?
I wouldn't say that it doesn't.
Oh, when
Very
did the
vague.
porn bomber show up?
Sean Hufford used it as evidence to prove that I'm a porn bomber. It's funny that he spends his whole time on YouTube saying that you're a liar, but then when he wants to use one of your videos to prove, you know, it's something he believes, then all of a sudden your evidence is good to him.
Yeah, that was a standard. That was a standard that we were charged with about 18 months ago, right, P? Cherry picking.
Yeah.
So you'd have somebody, for example, saying, "Hey Dan W, how you doing?
Hey Nathan.
Good to have you." So 12 months or 18 months ago, you'd have someone saying something like, "The moon rings like a bell when you fire something at it." Hey GP, can you hear us? Hello.
Yeah, Jeremy here.
Good to have you. And yeah, you're just basically picking bits and bobs of NASA's narrative that you like the sound of. In that case, quite literally and figuratively. Can you say something else, GP, just so I can turn you up?
Hello?
Hello. Very extensive, thank you.
I think everyone's guilty of confirmation bias, right? I try to, you know, look at things objectively, I guess, but I mean, ultimately, you're gonna have your own biases on things, but it's like it's kind of shameless to do what Sean Hufford did. I think is like call someone a liar for years, and then as soon as they say something you agree with, use that as evidence. Like that's just blatant. Like he's not even trying to be objective at all.
Did you sound check GP again? How you doing? Can you say a few more words?
Yeah, rookie mistake. Sorry about that.
No, that's perfect. You sound good now.
So yeah, can I like put a question into the round, like to everybody, to the panel?
Go ahead.
I'm a flat earther, okay, and I'm convinced and everything. But my question is, what platform? I mean, we have all kinds of evidences, whether it's visual, mathematical, scientific. I mean, you name it. They're all in existence. But doing it on, and this is no like negative criticism. I'm just curious to know, what platforms are you intending to use? Because I mean, Hangout is great, but I don't know, maybe some renowned scientists who can be, I don't know, persuaded or convinced by the obvious evidences.
Well, I've got one. Dr. John D.
Okay, who's that? Is that like a scientist? Is he?
Yes. I don't know his exact discipline. I think it's optical spectroscopy from memory, PhD.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Arwin. How's your show?
Hello. Good. I had Dan on here also, I see.
Yo, Owen.
Hello. So how's my mic sound?
Terrible.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of white noise again. I think that Yeti mic you had was working. I don't know why you said it.
No, it wasn't. No, it was going in and out randomly. It sucked. But okay, I'll just restart and put in the regular cheap ass.
Okie dokie. So just
So
out of interest,
Nathan,
yeah, I was going to say, why do you want a PhD to be backing this? Not that it's
no, I'm not. No, I'm not saying that he should be on the panel. Absolutely not. I'm just wondering. What is this PhD John D? Is he the guy who I saw some videos of Karen D that she was going to help him? That's another guy. Or was it the same dude?
yeah, that's the guy.
Okay, great. Because I've like I said, I'm new here, and I'm sorry if I'm taking up your time, but I'm really, how shall I say, I'm here in Germany. I'm a businessman and a quite successful one at that. But I have a lot of, I'm like swimming against the stream here.
Yeah, not wasting our time. Far from it.
Okay. So yeah, that's my main, how shall I say, question is, like what kind of platforms can be used to, bring this out in a really professional, scientific manner.
Well,
Good question.
say again, Pete.
What's that?
That was me. I was gonna say that I've tried to say this over and over again that we need to get someone who.
Oh, hold on, Travis. Hey, UK Truth.
Hi, Nathan.
Hello.
We need to get people focused on writing papers that are going to be able to be received in the academic community. Other than that, you're just going to have online chat rooms that you're going to be able to jump into and have discussions or whatnot. But I think that we have to have a lot of the stuff that we're talking about in writing. It needs to be tangible and put in the hands of people to be able to read what we're saying and see it that way.
If you want the academic community to pay attention, you should say the Earth is transgender.
Yeah, exactly.
Hello?
Oh, that's
Hey.
miles better, Arwin.
Yo.
This better?
Yes, considerably.
Alright. Good to know.
Well, I think that this will just naturally evolve, and it has done over the past, year or two. Things have changed. There's been a lot more interest, a lot more channels have sprung up. So, people are coming to it. It's just that, it's going to take a little more time for the right people to come, people with a big enough platform that they can actually make a difference, because we are still a very small part of the internet.
The debunking channels are getting bigger. Like all the new people that are coming to laugh at flat earthers.
Like Simon Dan and Fight the Flat Earth.
Yeah, fight
There's-
flat
there's-
earth.
There's characters.
Yeah, it used to be back in 2015, maybe even a bit earlier, that you had mainstream heliocentric channels, and then you had this tiny little corner that started a flat Earth. And that tiny little corner grew and got momentum and got promoted by YouTube. Then you move on to today, and flat Earth is fairly big on YouTube. It's not a tiny little insignificant corner of YouTube. There's a fairly substantive amount of material. So you have this now offshoot of flat Earth, which is anti-flat Earth, which are the people you've just listed. So they're the new tiny little insignificant corner of the internet. The only difference being that they get a lot more promotion because we've been censored in this corner of the internet, even though we're substantially bigger. So it seems disproportionate in terms of the amount of attention those guys get, even though they're new and have hardly done anything. Which makes me smile. It's good, great. They're the new guys, if you like.
Like
Yeah.
Tim had 200 viewers yesterday, which is like I remember, he only had 20 viewers when 2 years ago or something.
Well, he's totally changed his attitude though. So Tim's become a better YouTuber over the last year. He's changed his attitude. He's less trolly than he was. Yeah, he still, claims to be 100% troll, but he's putting more effort into his videos. And as much as he denies it and is like, I don't care, it's like, well, you put effort in, so you must care to some extent, and it does show because your videos, or Tim Osmond's videos, are better. I've watched more and more of them, and really I'm only interested in the quality of the content. If it's boring, you turn it off, right? So I can only give kudos where it's due for Tim, and that's why his audience is growing. You work hard on your channel and people will come and watch your stuff.
Do you think that Fight the Flat Earth guy actually knows what he's talking about? He seems to like come off as like a clever guy, but I really don't know if he's just.
I don't think he comes off as clever. He comes off as like
we can't swear. We're not allowed to swear.
An adult child.
Yeah.
That's
a good one.
No, doesn't have any manners. Doesn't know how to debate.
Hey, Paul.
Hello, sir. Hello.
I don't watch Fight the Flat Earth. The only bits I get to see of him, because I'm subscribed to Mr. Cheswick. I don't know if you know who that guy is, but he does various hit pieces on flat earthers and globe earthers, or anti-flat earthers. So he seems to have a fondness for Craig. I mean, I only know his name because Mr. Cheswick's told me. He's done great advertising. With a few more adverts, I'm sure I'll be subscribed to this Fight the Flat Earth guy. But literally, my only interaction has been through the adverts that Cheswick makes for him.
You mean he has cravings?
I don't know what his attachment is to Craig, but he seems to like making songs about him and making videos about him. And although the presentation is such to make the audience member think that this person's ridiculing said YouTuber Fight the Flat Earth, but it's like, well, they're just non-stop adverts. He's making everybody else aware of this guy. That's what they serve for. But maybe he doesn't recognise that yet. It's like, well, by the time you've made 4, 5, 6 videos about somebody, you're just highlighting them to the rest of the community. His last song wasn't so much funny as more just a flat-out advert for him. I don't know if you heard Cheswick's last song for Craig, but it just seemed like an advert for him, singing about gravity and Craig and watching him unbox an Xbox and like this. If I was Craig, I'd be asking if I could mirror it as a half-decent advert.
But in answer to the question, I don't think Craig knows very much about this debate, the topic at all. That was the original question.
Yeah, I just.
He's got like a physics background or something, but yeah, he doesn't know anything about the debate or the arguments.
Yeah, he's just doing it for the money, though, isn't he? So.
Yeah.
Smash the super chat if you're watching live.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, just like Nathan.
I've never denied it though, P. So it's not like I've claimed to be a war veteran and asked people to donate. When I say smash the super chat, my intentions are pretty straightforward. If you enjoy this channel and you want to support the channel, smash the super chat. I'm not saying give it me because I'm this, that, and the other. Just give it me if you want to. Simple. You don't have to. You've not given me a penny now, have you, P? You're not going to be demanding any refunds anytime soon.
I've given you content.
Oh, I'm so grateful.
Content, yeah. Giving you time, P.
King.
Give you time.
But it's amazing you're so open about like just being here for money, and you still get support from flat earthers.
It's not just being here for money. If my content was just me begging non-stop,
Give me
then
some
nobody
money.
would tune in. But at the end of the day, I have decided to be a YouTuber. So this is what I want to do to earn my living, P. And I'm not in the slightest bit ashamed.
For the super chat.
Yeah, thank you to Colin Turner. Really appreciate the support. Very apt timing. But yeah, so no, I'm not making any bones about that. My ambitions to be doing this full time have also been made clear from the offset when I was doing Flat Earth videos. I want to be a YouTuber. That's what I've said to people. I want to be successful at doing this. And if I was only here to make money from YouTube, then I wouldn't be successful. You know, you can only be successful if you love doing it. Because 99.9% of people who think they want to be a YouTuber don't really, because they don't really love it. So, you know, do what you love and you never have to work another day in your life, right? Well, I love doing this. So I hope to make money from doing it. And I don't see that there's any issue in that. Everybody has to earn a living some way. This is the way I do it. And I do it by smashing globe heads to pieces, which is good fun.
Nathan, you could short it, say it much shorter, and that's just you're a YouTube professional.
Ah, yes, I can say that now. Over 10,000 subscribers.
You pretend the Earth is flat for a living. I like that.
Yeah, but I don't pretend.
No,
But
yeah, you do.
a professional makes money. That's what the profession is. You do it to make money. So there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I'm a professional heliocentric debunker, P.
Some people pretend to play video
Professional
games.
glober whipper.
Nathan pretends the Earth is flat. You know.
But what's to
The
pretend
audience
about?
hits
Hey,
the
P.
super chat and Nathan hits the globers.
What's to pretend about?
Hey, P.
The Earth is obviously and observably flat, P. That is how it presents itself.
Because you don't really believe that. It's hilarious.
There's nothing to
You just sit
believe.
here and pretend.
I've just,
Hang
that's why I
on,
said
hang
it.
on. Look, can I say something?
Go ahead.
I'm in sales, and I know Nathan was in sales at some point too. But Nathan and anybody would agree, the best salesman is the one that believes in the product he's selling. If you're trying to sell it and you don't really think the product's good, you're going to show to be a charlatan pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's not a lie.
Yeah, Nathan is openly admitted to being a charlatan.
That's not charlatanism. How is that charlatanism?
It's all good though, isn't it? It's all good.
Because you're just like putting on an act for money.
Didn't listen to what Paul just said.
Don't really believe. It's like if you pretended you were disabled or something. It's kind of like the same as pretending the Earth is flat because you're basically pretending to be mentally retarded, right?
It's an outrageous claim. Not at all.
Outrageous.
What Paul just
Outrageous.
said. What Paul just said was that as a salesman, if you, I'm going to say own because I can use examples of that. So when I was an audio rep, I was out visiting studios and dealers and all the rest of it, and I was telling them about my amps because I'd bought them. Fucking expensive they were too. You know, quite a long time. They're all breaking and getting off. One of them's off for repair as we speak, actually. But I won't badmouth my amps. I love them. But the point is that I saved up, and they were quite a lot of money, and I bought them because I damn well wanted them. They were awesome. So when I went into a dealer or a studio and said, "You want to buy these? They'll make everything sound better." I didn't say that, but words to that effect. They believed me because I meant it. And when I say the Earth is obviously and observably flat, I mean it.
Great acting.
Oh, God.
No, it's true. It's true, though. It's observably flat.
Do you not think it's observably flat, PMARS?
No, it's definitely not.
Well, that's because you're wearing. That's because you've
That's
got
why,
glasses.
That's
That's
like
'cause
why
you-
when
no,
you
no,
go
no, no,
on debates, you don't have any arguments. You know.
That's because you're looking through convex lenses, mate. They're stuck on your nose.
I mean, I appreciate Nathan for holding all these scientific people to task. You know what I mean? Holding their feet to the fire.
Well, I think flat Earth is cool, and I think it's cool that Nathan and you guys pretend the Earth is flat, and I applaud you guys. You guys are real far out. Congratulations.
Do you not think it's interesting that the Globers haven't got any scientific evidence of any of the claims they make?
I think it's interesting that you would say that, knowing that it's not true, and then you can say that without laughing. It's pretty...
You're saying that pretty definitively, so I'm assuming you're going to now provide us proof?
Why would you assume that?
Because you just said that they do have proof.
I said you were lying when you said they don't.
So they do have proof then?
Of course.
Can you show it us then?
I don't want to.
We'll wait.
Then it's just your opinion, P. It's not, So you're.
I watched them
Well,
show you guys evidence, so I'm not gonna play these games with you guys.
But you want to
Okey-dokey.
because you come in here all the time and play games with us. So
No,
yes, you do want to play games.
I want to pretend the Earth is flat too.
But you're not pretending.
Well, it's not. It's a sphere. We all know it's a sphere, but we can pretend it's flat.
You can't say that on this panel. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people on the panel, and I'm willing to state now that 6 of them don't think that, P. You're the only one here that thinks that.
Pete Shea would agree with me.
Well, now that is descending the farcical Pete Shea into farce now, isn't it?
Pete Shea speaks a lot of truth. You guys don't give him enough credit. He's called
About
you all
what?
nuts.
About what? About
You're all-
everyone being a shill and a tranny, or
You're all
about
all
ourselves?
actors. You're all actors and trannies. I mean, clearly.
right?
Somebody said his name was Pete Shea the other day.
Pete Shea said that himself.
It's an anagram. So Pete A. Shea is an anagram of Pete Shea.
Wow.
Only because he's always going on about anagrams. But he doesn't tend to explain anything. He'll just say a random word and then get angry when you don't fully understand and appreciate what he says. For example, he'll just say, Aristarchus! And that's the full length of the explanation. And if you ask him to elaborate, it's Aristarchus is everything.
I'm still waiting for his comparing the moon craters video. Like I said, told him to do that like half a year ago and still hasn't done anything.
At least Pete has a model. You guys
really?
don't
He
even
does.
have that.
No, he just has a concept. He just
He's in the
says,
chat.
no,
Hold on.
everything is
He's in the chat.
Aristarchus. Everything is Aristarchus.
He's in the chat.
His
This is
model is
bullshit.
Aristarchus.
He's 10
Hold
steps
on.
ahead of y'all.
Hold on. Pete, if you can hear us, you can come in. There's a gap on the panel. You're welcome to join if you want to. No pressure if you don't.
Really? He's here? Where?
He's always watching.
I don't see him in chat.
The
Oh,
omnipotent
I might
Pete
have him
Shea.
blocked. I don't
Oh.
see him. I might have him blocked.
Talking of having people blocked, Tarwin, so I found out this morning after actually reading some of my Skype messages that you'd got Slick James Johnson blocked. That's why you weren't in yesterday's Ballbusters, right?
Apparently. Well, I blocked him because he acted like a total absolute dick. Like when he first came on the scene. And has been like literally trolling me, so I just freaking blocked him because I couldn't stand the guy. And yeah, what I heard yesterday is all really nice. I don't trust him. I'll never trust him. Ever.
Well, let's hear some of his criticisms of you then. Let's see if we agree with him.
I wouldn't know. I can't see him.
Yeah, but you must have
But
blocked him for something.
I'll unblock Pete Shea to help you guys out, but you need to guide me on how to do it again because it's not so straightforward.
You actually have to go to his channel, so press on the 3 dots on the chat for Pete Shea, go to his channel. And
But
then...
I can't because I don't see him.
Well, I can't help you.
Somebody could link me to his channel.
No, you just need to go into.
I'll
to the-
link it to you.
you need to go into community settings.
Okay.
Maybe we should make a whole new channel just for you, Owen.
No. Settings. Oh, blocked people. Right.
Shouldn't censor people, Arwen.
I
Or
only got 2.
anyone.
No, I don't have him blocked. What is this?
You guys, what's with all this censorship, man? Riley's got me
I
blocked.
got nobody blocked right now, so.
Earth Flattener blocks me.
I think I've got around about 8,600 blocked.
Whoa, 8,000? What? Soccer
How do you do
counts.
that?
Yeah, there's a lot of trolls.
8,000? That's a mega amount.
Well, when I go
What
live
is a
on my
troll? Someone who disagrees? I don't understand. Like, why
no,
can't
no, you can disagree, but when you come in and you say stuff like, you know, if you do ad homs the minute you come in, then you're going to get blocked. It's as simple as that. all the mods on the channel know that. So if you come in and you start screaming and shouting and acting like a complete idiot, you're going to get blocked. And I'm not going to go back and say, oh, you've blocked such a person. Why did you do that? Because, you know, I trust their judgment. You know, if you come in and you want to disagree by all means, but just don't be an idiot about it.
They're censoring people with that Marvel Girl movie on Rotten Tomatoes. They deleted 50,000 user reviews because they were negative.
My word.
It's totally crazy, the censorship that's going on these days. People think it's okay. They want to, they try to silence people by, they'll say like you're racist, sexist, homophobic, or a troll. They'll just dehumanize you that way, and then they don't have to argue with you.
Well, it's very easy how to reply to that and say, you're a filthy communist infiltrator. Done.
It's funny. It's funny. They only censor the truth. They don't censor a lie.
I did a video about this Greater Sapien. I hate Antonio Subirats, right? But well, I don't hate him, but I just strongly dislike what Antonio does. But so Greater Sapien was saying Antonio Subirats was racist just because he was talking about differences between black culture and white culture or something like that, and it's ridiculous. Like you can't even talk about cultural differences without being labeled a racist. Like they don't want white people even talking about black culture. It's insane. So it's like trying to silence people. Hey, what's up, Pete?
Hey, I made it.
Pete Shea.
I usually can't get in because
Hey,
either
Michael Johnson.
after,
Hold on one second. Just want to do a couple of
it.
Hold on. Just want to do some intros. Hey, Michael Johnson, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you. That's good. Hey, Pete, can you hear us?
Hold on, give me a second. Let me go grab a beer real quick.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good to have you.
Beer, it's not even 10 a.m.
A beer? Yeah, he's having a beer. So what time? What
That guy said he's going to go grab a beer. Bunch of flat earth boozers and drug addicts. That's all I see on YouTube.
It's an alcohol community with a flat earth problem. Like a... Or is it a flat
I don't even
community
drink.
with an alcohol problem?
This guy might be in a completely different time zone. It might be last thing at night for him, for all we know.
Oh no, don't worry about the time zones and the beer. What's going on?
I come in just to address something what Nathan said. So you say that all I say is Aristarchus is everything and that's it. I don't expand on anything. Anytime I've ever come into your hangout, Nathan, and said even the slightest controversial thing, like there are actors and agents placed in Flat Earth Inquiry from the very start, I get berated and I get jumped upon by you and your cronies like Ranty and the rest of Arwen here. You can't mention trannies. You can't mention the transgender issue.
Oh, really? You can't mention it? Like,
No, you can't mention
it. I literally have two friends that are transsexual.
He's getting his say. Let him have it.
Yeah. So you can't mention that in general. You can't make a general point about it or point out where the transgender issue is in full swing or full play, yet without being shouted down. Ranty here will ban me or has banned me as a flat earther. I'm a flat earther since 2013. Banned me on spot. So just for mentioning trannies, and then he's gone out talking about.
You didn't mention just
hang on,
trannies.
let me finish, please. Talking about how I'm a tranny. I have a son. I have no problem proving my gender or anything.
Prove it. Prove
Do
you
we
know.
really?
Hold on.
So again, here we have Ranty. Here we have Ranty.
Show us your peg leg.
Stop it.
Here
Stop
we
it.
have
I want Pete to
Ranty,
get to the
a flat
end.
earther, asking me to prove something that I'm speaking about on a general point. So again, these are all things that you can't really get a chance to expand upon in forums or hangouts like this, because again, you jump down by a group of people. It's not just one or two people who have an inquisitive mind. Nathan, you mispronounced Aristarchus so many times. You just, in one comment there, I think showed up yourself. I've said a whole hell of a lot on Aristarchus, and you're talking as if it's my thing only, whereas Aristarchus is there for all of us to investigate. So it's primarily in terms of the most mysterious moon crater on the moon.
So
like
who
a
else
chance
is
to
talking about Aristarchus?
I'd like a
Who
chance
else
to
is
respond
talking
as
about
well.
Aristarchus?
Why are you all rumpus singing? This is the
Can I
bit I
say
actually
something
want to
real quick?
hear. I want
Well,
to
I
hear
just want a
this
chance
bit.
to respond. He called me out by name and said that he was just generalising about women. No, when Constance Bruns came on my channel and we were talking about her, you were saying, "Who is that woman? She is a transvestite. Just look at her." Right?
No.
That is so. Yes, you did.
No, hang on. Let me say exactly what I said.
All right. Well, well, you can find it. It's on my channel, and you'll be in the side chat saying it because you'll be able to bring up the live chat of what
I'll
you were
say
doing.
exactly what I said, and then you can retract what you just said. So
Oh,
what I said was,
okay.
the very first time Constance Broom was introduced, no, I never heard of her. No one else ever heard of her. And to me, Constance Bruns is a clear man in a woman's drag, right? In woman's garb. This is obvious. This is
no, it's
obvious
not.
and observable.
Hold on. I thought you were going to give something other than just a baseless assertion, and all you're going to do is reassert that piss Ranty
hang
off.
on, please. We were talking about a specific case where I went into Ranty's hangout and he banned me instantaneously.
No, you said general.
Well, I'm tempted
that
to do the
wasn't
same.
general.
Hold on, Ranty. The only reason I called you in was because I was hoping you'd tell us about Aristarchus. Now, so far I've heard it's a mysterious moon crater, and then everyone rumpused you.
Okay, I'll go back to that. Let's go back to that then. So have you any experience at all with crater Aristarchus? Have you examined the moon at all, Nathan?
Yes.
Right, so you've heard of crater Aristarchus, right?
Yeah, I've studied the moon. I've looked through it for many, many hours through a telescope.
Okay, so you've heard of crater Aristarchus, right?
Yes.
Right, grand, because it seems strange that you have a little bit of a problem, or you had in the past anyway, pronouncing the name. But when you look into it, crater Aristarchus, first of all, in the mainstream science, it's described as the most mysterious crater on the moon, the most mysterious object in our system. Right, so this is a point of interest to begin with. Now we know we can turn all of science and all of knowledge, if you will, upside down. So when we come to a flat Earth realization, we can look at the crater Aristarchus in a new light. When you do that, you find out so many things, or at least I have anyway. Arwen says no one else has spoken about this. I would say that's probably true, but it's probably true for good reason as well. It's certainly not that no one knows about the significance of crater Aristarchus. But I could talk for a long time about that, but that requires a conversation. You've done many shows, Nathan, here, and talked about some valid topics, of course, for many hours on end. So all of these things need expanding upon, especially when someone is hearing it for the first time. That's all.
Hey Pete, I do actually know another person that does talk about Aristarchus. You know who it is?
No.
It's me.
I never heard you say anything about it, Arwen.
Oh, that's because you don't really follow my shows. But hey, I mention regularly or every now and then, yeah, Pete Shea, he may be a bit of a nutter. And you
also
are,
mentioned Goodney
but
Dunn, and I
you
think
might
was-
just be turning out to be right about Aristarchus, even though you never actually get into the real technicals or bring any kind of proof whatsoever.
Okay, thank you, Arwen. I might be right in what sense, because I have a lot more realized than maybe what you know. But what do you mean I might be right?
That's what I'd like to know from you. What are you right about, Pete? What exactly
Well, let's hear
is it
what
about?
Arwen says. So Arwen is
No.
right.
I don't want Arwen to tell me about Aristarchus. I want you to. And so far you've said it's very important, it's very mystical, and we can all look at it. That's what I've got so far.
Okay, Nathan. So have you ever looked at any of my Hangouts, first of all?
Oh, here we go. No.
See, that's all.
So hang on, let me ask you a simple question.
I don't need to know about what has happened on your Hangouts. Pete, this is exactly what you did last time. Exactly the same thing.
Don't bully me now, man.
I just want you to tell me. I'll make it really specific. What specifically?
To know what your basis is.
Yeah, I'm just asking a question, Pete. Pete, you're just going to rumpus me. Is it because Arwen? Please don't do this. Is it because you've got literally nothing to tell us about it? Because I'm asking you specifically, what is it about Aristarchus?
Okay, let me answer that then. So you won't answer my simple question because I don't know where you're at then. So you know nothing at all about it. Okay, I'll have to put it in simple terms. And after I do, please, Arwen, you might answer my question. Aristarchus is the singular source of all luminaries. When we come to a flat Earth, we can start thinking in these terms. We notice that the luminaries, for want of a better word, all appear to roll across the sky in unison. So instead of a million, billion, infinite number of suns, we have one sun. When we look at the moon, we're looking at a reflection of the sun. But ultimately, Aristarchus, in its creator form, reflected form, emanates from the North Center. So we have one singular source, and all of the light show we see is it connected to that one source.
How does a reflection cast a shadow, like on the craters of the moon?
Right. These are different issues, right? We're trying to get to the basics of Aristarchus, first of all.
It's a fractal.
Right. So to explain that to Nathan, this is where it comes into it. When we look at the moon, we are looking at the best way that I have come to describe is a sort of kaleidoscopic expression of one and only one thing, one crater. There's only one crater on the moon. I know it sounds ridiculous, and it doesn't certainly appear to look that way, but this is the nature of the illusion, I guess. We are dealing with again, a singular source. And for the first time, I would say this is all tangible. I could go on to talk about how Aristarchus expresses through the clouds. You can notice it via the repeating cloud patterns in your local sky. And when you compare your repeating cloud patterns to my patterns, we see that they're a match. Now, the reason for this is because, again, everything is an expression of a single source. Well, I'm trying to think off the top of my head here.
Let's just get... Sorry, Pete. So what you're saying is this crater on the moon projects all of the luminaries. That's what you're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying. The moon is a reflection of the sun. The sun is a reflection of Polaris. Polaris is a direct reflection of Aristarchus. All the luminaries appear to revolve around Polaris, right? This makes it a central point. So again, everything is emanating from the North Center. That's where Aristarchus expresses from. And if you want my best way of explaining it, Aristarchus is the decapitated tree of life. This is what we remember at Christmas time when we get a decapitated tree, i.e. the part of the tree above ground. Below ground, we have the root system. And we place it onto an X on the ground and artificially light it up with a big star at the top. So yeah, I know you don't like the idea of giant trees as well, Nathan, but that's where Aristarchus goes back to as its roots. So again, emanating from the North Center, but there's much more to it than that, as well as it all comes back to the heart of our matters. Everything is connected here. So I mean,
so you basically believe in that guy, that MRBBB or whatever his name is, that's in the UFO community, that posted that video about that big ass tree that was cut down and all the mountain ridges were the limbs.
Well, it's along those lines. It's certainly the nature of Earth. Our Earth certainly does incorporate giant trees, but not probably in the form that you might be thinking of. Yeah. No, but
it's a really nice story told in a very loose way that's really. Yeah, you're not doing your own story a good service, and if every time you present it like this, because there is something to it. That's the weird part, but you're making a mess of it.
Well, hang on,
just
Arwen.
laying connections that are not there.
Right, hang on, Arwen. I guess ideally, this would need to be talked about and expanded upon on a different format. For instance, if I was talking to you one-on-one, we might spend 2 or 3 hours discussing it and developing the thought further. Right here, you're sort of put on pressure and asked for a neat and concise explanation for something that incorporates everything. It's a bit difficult to do.
Yeah, but why don't you just start not with the whole, but with some first step elements, like actually proving the fractal nature, actually proving that the Aristarchus crater is being reflected in another by comparing it in Photoshop, like I suggested to you half a year ago, and you haven't.
Okay, well, I realize there's a different different nature to this game that we're all involved in here, and who am I trying to prove anything to anybody?
You're trying to prove it to everybody. You're talking about it every day, so do it. Actually take the step and prove it.
Listen, don't be talking to me and chatting down at me like that.
I will damn well talk to you like that because you're being a baby.
This is for you to find out your own truth here.
No, it's not. You're talking about this all the time, so you bring the proof. And you can do it. I told you how to do it, so bring it.
Hey, listen, man, I have you blocked because I'm fucking sick of you.
Oh, you're sick of me? You're sick of me? What you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm just sick of you. You're here from the start. You're another put in place, right? You're here from the start.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let's get some control. Whoa. Stop. Yeah. Right, let's get back on track. So, Pete, what evidence do you have to come to the conclusions you have of Aristarchus being a reflection of Polaris, or whatever it is?
This is all a game, Nathan, and you certainly know more than what you let on, as is evidenced by some of the screenshots that you put up in between, people talking on your hangout here. I would bring people's attention to when you came to the flat Earth debate, and all the ballers were throwing Copernicus down. This is established science for 500 years. What they should have been doing is saying that this is established since 2,500 years ago, when Aristarchus of Samos was the first man to propose that the sun was at the center and all the spherical bodies in terms of planets were revolving around. But we never hear that. So that's a little clue in terms of its omission itself. When we look into this fabricated character, Aristarchus of Samos, we're told that this man is the first to name the sun as a star. Now, when we understand that the man didn't exist, we can look for the clues implanted, right? So that's a sort of a starting point. What evidence and proof do I have right now to bring to you that would convince you in minutes? I don't think that could be done, but I could certainly detail lots of different pieces of evidences which would all gather together and accumulate into, I'm not going to say a proof, but certainly a great indication that this is what we're dealing with. Let me just say about flat Earth, and I've mentioned this so many times to you, Nathan. You are great at saying what isn't. Hang on, please. Hang on, please. Nathan, you're great at saying what isn't. Let's hear your view of what the sun is. You're always talking about the stars, our intangibility, and we can't know what they are. Let's hear what you think. Let's hear your thoughts on the real nature of things, as opposed to so much effort being put into what isn't.
Can I jump in real quick? I see, Pete, you've just completely dismissed Nathan's simple answer to you. You just waxed on for like 2 minutes, not answering his question. Can't
I answered it, man. I answered it, but as I said, it's not easy to answer in
that's a non-answer.
And concise terms.
Yeah, try. Okay,
let me say to anyone listening here that Aristarchus gets to the heart of our matters as well.
You can't. You just ramble.
I know, without any foundation. That's
can't really have a conversation.
You got a good idea, but you have no structure. You got nothing.
It's not an idea.
It is an idea. You're presenting it like an idea, like something you dreamt up, and you're bringing no structure at all.
Arwen, I don't want to hear shout over me or vice versa. All I'm saying is anyone out there...
He does the same thing Isa does, where he just goes from subject to subject without saying anything about any of the subjects. He just brings up subjects over and over and again.
I'm talking about the same thing, P. Mars.
Yeah.
That's what all these like rambling BS people like Isa Malachowski, he'll just like go... ramble subject to subject, and you can't have a conversation with him. It's like he's just constant word salad.
Name so intellectual fruit. Intellectual fruit.
The beetle.
It's what Rumpus.
That was so funny. This intellectual fruit, and we're having a food fight.
I love it. That's a good one, Dan. That's really good.
Yeah, that's what Issa said.
Awesome.
Hey, Nathan, can I ask you a question?
You shall know them by their fruits, okay? So that's freaking brilliant.
I've seen just about to round out the live show, but if you do want to ask me a question, you've got about 60 seconds with 300 people watching. Go ahead.
Okay, I could do it a lot quicker than that. How many seconds do I got now?
Just go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, do you have anything other than perspective to go on the flat Earth?
Anything other than what? I didn't catch that.
Other than perspective.
I don't understand the context of your question. Have I got anything other than perspective?
Anything other. Like, do you have any kind of other observation or any kind of other proof or any kind of other fact or anything else in your head besides perspective and looking at the horizon?
For what?
For your proof or your validation of flat Earth.
Sure.
But that's the axiom. The Earth is obviously inobservably flat.
Okay, well, you're not answering my question. Do you have anything other than that?
What do you mean, other than the observably bloody obvious?
Right. What else do you need?
What else do you need?
How about stars going missing when you go up high enough?
Well, I'm asking Nathan, not you, Arvin.
Oh, okay. I'm just giving an answer.
On that
Well,
rather absurd note, I will say a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the live audience for tuning in. If you're watching this on Nathan Oakley channel, then stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow. If you're watching this on Nathan Oakley 1980, then check out nathanoakley.com and the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. Be sure to like, comment, share and subscribe. I've been Nathan Oakley and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!